After a rough first winter in the New World, the Pilgrims came together in 1621 to give thanks for a successful harvest. The local Wampanoag tribe came to join them, and the two groups celebrated together for several days. Nearly 400 years after the first American Thanksgiving, we hope that everyone remembers how it all started. At the very least, being thankful with family and friends around a table of food is a proper enough way to continue the tradition. In this list, we will take a look at 10 other countries with special times of the year for giving thanks. Number 10. Katazan Harvest Festival, Malaysia. On the west coast of Malaysia, in the city of Sabah, the month of May culminates with a grand harvest festival celebration. The Katazan people started celebrating harvest festivals in the 1950s to promote identification with their rice farming background. Rice is a main food in the Katazan diet. They believe a spirit called a Bambasan is present in each grain of rice. The festival is a time to give thanks to Bambasan for the previous year's rice harvest. On the 30th of May, traditional sports competitions like buffalo racing, bamboo stilt racing, and arm wrestling are held. There are also dance, wine, and singing competitions. On the 31st, several different cultures of people from around the area meet at the Hongkod Khoisan building. The day concludes with the crowning of the Unduk Ngatau, or Harvest Festival Queen. Number 9. Erntedankfest, Germany. Germany celebrates Erntedankfest on the first Sunday of October. It translates to thanks for the harvest festival. Erntedankfest is a way to thank God for the gifts of the harvest. Both the Catholic and Protestant churches mark it on their calendar, decorating altars with wheat and fruits. Several communities elect a harvest queen, presenting her with a wreath of wheat during the harvest parade. Erntekran, the harvest crowned, is a wreath built on a pole. The base is decorated with paper flowers and ribbon. One of the oldest traditions says that to keep the grain demon away from the crops, the last few must be weaved together and kept in the house for good fortune. For meals on Erntedankfest, fresh produce harvested from local crops is plentiful. Large roasted birds are often served, with turkey recently becoming more popular. Number 8. Sukkot, Israel. A week-long Jewish holiday that starts 5 days after Yom Kippur, Sukkot celebrates not only the harvest gathering, but the protection God gave the children of Israel when they left Egypt. The taking of the four kinds is a major observance during Sukkot. Etrog, citron, lulav, palm frond, 3 hadassah, myrtle twigs, and 2 aravat, willow twigs, make up the four kinds. The four kinds symbolize 4 types of Jews with various levels of knowledge of the Torah. Bringing the four kinds together helps represent the unity as a nation despite differences. Sukkot is divided into 3 parts. Yom Tov comprises the first 2 days when work is prohibited, candles are lit in the evening, and Kiddush, kosher wine, comes before meals. Chol Haimot, intermediate days, finds rules a little more lax, leading to time for families to go on excursions. The first of the final 2 days, Shemini Atzeret, finds people spending time in their sukkah without a blessing. Simchat Torah is the final day. Dancing and singing with the Torah scrolls is followed by nightly candle lighting and a festive meal. In Israel, the final days are combined into 1 day rather than 2. Number 7. Pongal, India. Celebrated in South India, Pongal takes place in mid-January and lasts 4 days. Its name translates to spilling over and has been named as such due to a tradition of letting a boiling pot of rice overflow. Pongal dates back about 2,000 years, originating as a Dravidian harvest festival. It is linked to the Thai Niradal, a major festival during the Pallava dynasty circa 300 to 900 AD. During this festival, young girls prayed for rain and prosperity, avoided milk products, did not oil their hair, and refrained from bad language. In Hindu mythology, the start of Pongal is when the Day of the Gods begins after a 6-month-long night. On the first day, known as Bogi Pongal, farmers worship the earth and sun by consecrating their tools and then using them to cut the freshly harvested rice. Surya Pongal, the second day, is dedicated to the sun god. The third day, Madu Pongal, is dedicated to cattle. They are given a day of rest, washed, painted, and decorated as a way of saying thanks for all their hard work. Kanam Pongal wraps everything up by devoting another day to celebrating the sun god. Number 6. Harvest Moon Festival, China. The Harvest Moon Festival, or Mid-Autumn Festival, became an official celebration in China during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907. It is believed the holiday was first mentioned in Confucius's Book of Rites more than 2,400 years ago. It was portrayed as a day for emperors to celebrate the harvest by giving offerings to the moon and hosting a giant feast. For thousands of years, it has been a time for families and communities to come together and feast to give thanks for the harvest of crops. The Harvest Moon Festival today is a time for family gathering, a chance for the people and the moon to reunite and form a full circle. Mooncakes are as synonymous with the Harvest Moon Festival as turkey is with American Thanksgiving. The most common kind of mooncake is comprised of lotus seed paste, salted egg yolk, and lard. A palm-sized cake packs close to 1,000 calories. Recently, some believe mooncakes have become more of a gluttonous, commercialized aspect of the holiday. Extravagant mooncake gifts often end up in landfills, pushing them to their limits. Number 5. Kinro Kanshin no Hai, Labor Thanksgiving Day, Japan. Since 1948, Japan has officially observed Labor Thanksgiving on November 23. From as early as the year 678 up until the Meiji era, 1868 to 1912, the day was a time to say thanks for the great harvests of rice and hard work of the farmers. During the post-World War II American occupation of Japan, Shinto celebrations were abolished and religious aspects of the day were forced into secrecy. Today, Labor Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful to workers and for their production. Young school children make cards and gifts for municipal workers. It is also a time to connect with family and friends, enjoying good food and company. One of the largest events held on November 23 is the Nagano Labor Festival. It is sponsored by labor organizations and encourages people to think about the environment, peace, and human rights. Hundreds of thousands of Japanese gather at the end of the day to watch the Nagano Ebisuko fireworks festival as the last part of their Labor Thanksgiving. Number 4. Thanksgiving, Grenada. Grenada has only been officially celebrating their Thanksgiving since 1983. In mid-October 1983, there were multiple changes in leadership causing mass unrest, leading the US to ultimately invade. Grenadians marked their calendars on October 25 to remember when the US helped restore order to their country. Today, they use their Thanksgiving as a chance to spend time with family, remember Grenadians who are gone, and pay homage to their service in the interest of nation building. Number 3. Crop Over Festival, Barbados. The Crop Over Festival comes from a time when Barbados was one of the largest producers of sugar in the world. In the 1940s, it was eliminated altogether. Happily, the festival was brought back in 1974. Wait, is it done?
Yes, this is over.
But why?
I think it's because he's too lazy to edit.
Number 2. Homowo, Ghana. The Homowo Festival is a month-long celebration by the Georgia people of the Greater Accra area in Ghana. It is a celebration of the harvest starting in May. In pre-colonial times, a lack of rain caused a poor harvest and a terrible famine began. When the rains finally returned, the Georgia celebrated by creating the festival. The festival kicks off with the planting of maize. During the entire month of celebration, city officials enforce a ban on all loud music and noise. Homowo is closely translated as "hoot at hunger." Loudly denouncing hunger is encouraged. Many events transpire over the course of the festival. On Twins Day, all twins dress in white calico. Another event is a boat race between warriors, known as Asafo groups. A dance called Akpan Logo is also performed during the festival. Other celebrations include marching down roads, beating drums, chanting, face painting, and singing. Families get together to resolve issues and disputes. They consume pakpoy, a special meal made from maize and served with palm nut soup. Drink is poured for the spirits and ancestors, while hooting at hunger continues. Number 1. Thanksgiving, the Netherlands. Starting near the end of 1607, they began to immigrate to the Dutch Republic, where they could practice their religion in peace. Eventually, many of them made their way to the city of Leiden. The city of Leiden uses Thanksgiving as a time to reconnect with the Pilgrim forefathers. There is an annual Thanksgiving celebration at the Peterskirk, a Gothic church where one of the Pilgrim leaders, John Robinson, is buried. The mayor of Leiden attends the non-denominational ceremony and addresses the congregation. If you go, be sure to visit the Mayflower escape room nearby.